But first up, Syria's civil war is back in the spotlight after a new rebel coalition swept into the country's second largest city, Aleppo. In a surprise attack, this is the first time opposition forces have seized territory in Aleppo since 2016, shattering the stalemate of a war that never formally ended, forcing Russia to carry out airstrikes in the region after years. The renewed conflict, which has killed more than 300,000 people and sent nearly 6 million refugees out of Syria, has wide ramifications across the region and beyond.
A statue of Bashar al-Assad's brother Bassel torn down in Aleppo by armed men. The downing of the statue came after rebels opposed to the Syrian president reached Aleppo on Friday after a surprise sweep through government-held towns. Syrian authorities closed Aleppo airport as well as all roads leading into the city after beating a hasty retreat. Opposition fighters led by Islamist militant group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham roamed and drove through Aleppo streets freely on Saturday. The fighters and Aleppo's residents were also seen rejoicing their return to Syria's second largest city after a decade of control by Assad's forces. Assad's posters were torn down as slogans were chanted in the streets.
Thanks God. After 8 years absence from our house and our family and our neighborhood, we went and saw and meet everyone, our neighbors and our family, and greeted them all. A joy that can't be described and is very great. Thanks to God.
The official Syrian news agency reported that President Assad vowed to defeat insurgents by force after the rebels swept into Aleppo. Assad vowed retribution, saying, "We will defend Syria's stability and territorial integrity in the face of all terrorists and their backers. The country is capable, with the help of its allies and friends, of defeating and eliminating them." And the retribution was swift as images came in on Sunday of the results of a series of airstrikes carried out by Syrian and Russian jets. Not only in Aleppo, but also in Idlib and Hama. The UK-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights says these are the regions where the group leading the rebel offensive has established control. Sunday also saw the Syrian army claim it had recaptured several towns that had been overrun in recent days by rebels after conceding it had lost dozens of troops, forcing a redeployment out of Aleppo. The US was quick to denounce Assad's handling of his nation's civil war, America's National Security Council spokesperson saying Syria's reliance on Russia and Iran, along with its refusal to move forward with the 2015 peace process outlined by the UN Security Council, created the conditions now unfolding. At the same time, the United States has nothing to do with this offensive, which is led by Hayat Tahrir al-Sham, a designated terrorist organization. Syria's turmoil set the cat among the pigeons amidst regional stakeholders. Assad's supporter, Iran's foreign minister Abbas Araghchi, is reported to reach Damascus on Sunday before visiting Turkey as part of a regional tour on Monday. Turkish Foreign Minister Hakan Fidan is said to have discussed regional developments in Syria with his Iraqi counterpart Fuad Hussein in a phone call on Sunday. And Jordan's Foreign Minister Ayman Safadi said on Sunday that developments in Syria were a cause of concern and that it rejects any action that threatened its northern neighbors' security and stability. It also called for increased diplomatic efforts to reach a political settlement that would end the conflict. For now, the fighting looks set to intensify. The Syrian government has called up reinforcements as its Russian allies bomb rebel forces who seemed to have taken advantage of the preoccupation of Assad's backers fighting against Ukraine and Israel. But this advantage could be short-lived. Gautam Roy's report for DD India.